Hello and welcome everyone to Little Craft the Show, and today we are going to be working on an iron-on using our Cricut, aka Eileen the Little Crafter. Additional information about this show and my podcast show, articles and everything in between can be found on my website, eileenthelittlecrafter.com. Alrighty guys, so right now you are seeing Design Space, and I am going to be just starting off with a new project. I'm going to be using some images that I uploaded from my phone onto my Cricut Design Space Air app. And so FYI, I try to use images that I know that are going to be free, or images that I'm going to be not selling. I don't sell images anyways, like not selling images. What I want to say is that, like, let's say if I'm going to make a project out of, like, I won't sell that. That's just not right. Copyright issue. Anyway, so I'm just going to upload the images. You're going to hit that little like button there that says upload, and I'm going to hit those images and they're going to pop up. Now, since I originally was going to do this as print and cut, I saved them as print and cut. Not only that, but if you don't save them as a print file, you can never really put them back as a print file in case you wanted to do that extra later on, but you can convert it pretty quickly to a cut file. So I guess it would be better for you always to try and upload it as a print file. Anyway, so right now I'm just going to hit those little icons next to it, and I'm going to hit the pair of scissors, which is basically the cut icon. Don't worry about the color, you can change it later on if you want. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hide contour, because what I want to do, if you saw the pictures on my social media accounts, I am going to put eat, YouTube, and repeat. So first off, I'm going to get rid of the game symbol, even though that's a cute shirt, but my son doesn't play video games. He loves his YouTube, and so does my nephew. I think all of my nieces and nephews and my son, they all love their YouTube. But none of them probably watch my show. Oh well. Titi's boring. Mommy's boring. I asked my son that a couple of times. Alrighty, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm just hitting the little images to get them out of the way. You can always use that little sidebar. And so I checked the image a couple of times and I'm like, okay. So again, you can either right click it to hide contour, or you can just use the hide contour down on the bottom, and I'm just going to use that sidebar there, and you know that it's the image that you're looking for because it's that dark shade of gray. So at this point I'm like, okay, I need the buttons and the okay, so found the controller. This image is pretty intense with the little pieces, so I'm like, okay, I think those are the buttons that I'm looking for. So I'm like, wait a minute, I thought I clicked it all, but no. I have to go back a couple of times here and there to finally get this image all cleared up. And so yeah, so if it's really small, either you can zoom in with your computer if you have a touch screen, or you can always just use that little sidebar to make sure that you get rid of all those little pieces of the image that you do not want. So basically that is what hide contour is. It doesn't permanently get rid of it, so don't freak out. It just for the meantime, you know, so you can always use that image again in different ways. That's a cool feature of hide contour. So like I was saying, my son thinks that I'm boring. My YouTube videos are boring. So I'm going to duplicate this because you're going to need to take apart the eat and the sleep. You're gonna have to hide contour that anyways. And I also wanted to share with you how you could what is that, design this shirt differently. I figured I would share my options. So what's going on here? Why is it taking so long? Alright, so I'm trying to move it out the way. You're gonna hide. So now at this point, we're going to duplicate that. We're gonna get rid of the repeat. But I figured I would share before you get rid of the repeat. I wanted to show you guys how you would, let me zoom out a little bit, how you would, and I'm gonna hide that one down there. If you wanted to do a different design, you can actually shrink down the YouTube symbol. And I'm gonna duplicate that because I don't know why I decided to duplicate that. I could have just, anyways, easily. So I'm gonna unlock the proportion button and I'm going to change that into a cut file. Again, I'm gonna hit the little icon to make it a scissors, and I'm gonna click the icon that's like a printer, and then it's going to be all gray now. I'm gonna shrink it down. I'm gonna use the repeat little symbol to try and match it up so that it could look somewhat unified. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's a little too small. So then I got the smart idea of trying to make sure that it was the same size. So I just kind of match that symbol up right there, and it's good. I like it. And so now I'm just going to go to my text bar. You can use whatever text you like. I just decided to use the Cricut text bar, the Cricut, the one that you normally use for your Cricut stuff. So I am going to, at this point, sorry, okay, so at this point, that's, you know, again, this is just an option, and right there my Grammarly wanted to kick in, and I'm like, no, no thanks. So anyways, there's a lot going on. Originally this was not going to be a voiceover video. I had something happen and I'm like, I don't really want to refilm this all over again. So I'm just going to put the word YouTube, and it's going to be already cut out. So if you want to put it like that, then I'm like, okay, well, all the letters are all caps, so you can just put your caps on, and I'm just going to spell out YouTube, and you can size it, you know, to match the rest of it. But I thought that it would be pretty cool if you decided to make it bigger, to like really emphasize the YouTube. So I'm just playing around with the sizing here. Again, you want to really, if you really want to play around with the sizing, you definitely have to take off the proportion lock, which is that little lock. You can do it right there on the lettering, or you can do it on your toolbar, which is on the right hand side on the top, and where it says like you know, the sizing. So that is just one way of doing it. So I'm really happy. I was actually thinking about doing it this way. That might be another cool idea. I'm gonna let you guys know ahead of time if you guys wanted to just, whatchamacallit, you know, that could and when, like, let's say you don't want to do a bunch of different color vinyls, that's the other thing that you could do, so that you can make sure all your colors are, because I was looking for the sync button. I was like, wait a minute, where's my sync button? And I couldn't find it, so I was like, you know what, let me just change the color. And so you can do that. The other thing about this image, you definitely would want a weeding box, because this will come out in a bunch of different pieces, and I didn't do it the last time. And in the picture, you won't see the letters. I omitted the letters. So, but I'm definitely thinking about either doing the one that I first showed you, or the other option, where I just kind of, well, right now at this point, I need to hide contour. So what we're going to get rid of at this point, we're going to get rid of the eat and the sleep. So again, we're just going to click all those images so everything goes away. The reason why we duplicated the word twice is because you definitely have to go in and hide contour so that you can have them detached, so that you can add the symbol and the word YouTube. So this is the way I did it. I'm just basically going in. I'll do one image where I'll take out the eat and the sleep, and take out the little knife and fork and bed, going back and forth, making sure that everything's good. And then at one point, I'll take the other image and I'll just omit the word repeat because there was not enough spacing. You can do it. It's just a matter to you of how you want to, you know, what the sizing is and how much vinyl, what colors and stuff like that. Again, this is just a labor of love. And at this point, I am now going to be adding a canvas. Again, the canvas does not come out. I'm going to be using the classic t-shirt because I want to share with you guys how I sized it. Again, I would definitely have used a weeding box, and so you can't see it, so I'm going to change the canvas color right there. I'm gonna just make it a yellow. My shirt was white in the video, but at first I thought red, and then I'm like, no, red might be a little harsh on the eyes. So I decided to do a yellow. I don't know why. But anyways, you can also like take your lettering and your image. You can also put it kind of sort of to the color of the vinyl. You can use the different shirt colors so that you can really get a sense of what color you want the, you know, how everything looks. Because sometimes you look at it and you're like, oh yeah, and then when you actually do it, so you know, this kind of gives you a virtual look of, oh yeah, this does really look good. So I highly recommend this. I'm like, okay, where did everything go? Again, this is just a canvas. It's not going to cut out. You want to always have everything clicked on. I'm going to be using a large male shirt because I have a very large teenager. Holy camoli, I still cannot believe he's a teenager going to high school this September. Oh my god. OMG, as he likes to say. So I'm just, like I said, I'm showing you guys how I'm pretty much sized everything. Again, I definitely would highly recommend that you use a weeding box. I'm going to show you two different styles of how you would use a weeding box. And I'm also going to be using vinyl from Happy Crafters, which I got from my subscription box. This June was kind of like a patriotic 4th of July theme, and I'm just, like I said, trying to share with you how I did this. And it was a really fun project. I would have to say the other thing that I would highly recommend is I think that the settings for my Easy Press, I probably should have used the settings what they recommend for the vinyl in what is that, Happy Planners. I use the settings for Cricut, and so I don't know, it felt a little wonky. So at this point, I'm like, okay, you know, I forgot to add the word YouTube to the symbol. Even though I think everybody by now knows what that symbol is, but so I forgot I got to take off my cap locks. So I'm just gonna use a capital Y. I'm gonna retype that out. I'm just gonna use a capital Y, and everything else will be a lowercase. I think. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the word U over to the YouTube symbol, and I'm going to put it up top. I'm going to eyeball it because the triangle is in a weird spot. So for me anyways, I kind of thought it was a little awkward. So I'm like trying to angle it so that I don't cut the letters, you know, like into that little triangle in the middle. And I'm going to right click it. Going to go over the whole image until you see like that gray lasso. You could right click it again and you'll see the slice button, or you can always hit it down on the below. It pops up once you do it. So I'm going to do that. I was just showing you by showing you where the mouse is. If that made any sense. I feel like I need another cup of coffee. Alright, so now I'm going to show that out, take that out. And I'm just going to click all the extra pieces and get them out the way. I am getting a phone call at this point, so yeah, sorry about that. I'm gonna now type out the word YouTube and tube actually. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to bring up the word to the image, and I'm going to kind of eyeball it. Like I said, it's kind of a weird image, but it's kind of image worth it. It does cut a little wonky around the edges. I noticed that, but I kind of like the way that looks. It's not a real image. It looks a little rugged in certain areas, but I love the way it's cut. Like the edges aren't rounded, but I love the way that looks. It's almost like a back after I right click it. Well, actually, the lasso over it, I right clicked it, or you can put it down the bottom, and use the place button there. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to arrange everything, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. Sorry if that bothers your eyes. Well, actually, that's by accident. And I'm going to show you guys two different ways of reading it. All you're going to do is click that align button, vertically, and then I'm going to actually, by accident, I hit image button. That's not what I want. There we go. Going to hit the image, and I am at this point going depending on the matte size. That's the other thing. If you're going to do this in one particular color, and you have a 12 by format, depending on the size, or maybe even a 12 by 25 color, you're just going to do this, and put it over your image to try and center it as much as possible. You may want to change the color of your box. I'm going to bring forward to make sure everything is selected. You can't see it what's going on here. Forward and then actually backwards. Backwards. Don't like it. Let me instead the wrong thing. Alright, so I undo that to make sure that I have the box. I changed the box color. Any color. One more time. And you either right click it or you can control the top. And then I'm making sure that everything looks kosher. I want to make it a little bit bigger than the image, and I'm going to hit attach. And now you can see that everything is attached. Again, depending on the size, you can format or you can format. For this particular one, you want to make it work and one color. You can add just make sure that everything looks, copacetic. You can, make it a little smaller, make it a little bigger, and then you're going to attach everything, and I just have to, and then the YouTube again. The other way you can do it is, if you don't want to do it that way, you can just use the word sleep box. Set up, I didn't do this. I really like spaced out. I was kind of rushing. I don't know what. Again, you're going to try and make it so and you're good to go. I mean, if you want to make a weeding box with a YouTube symbol, you can always, like I said, it's up to you. But this is just some options that I'm sharing with you guys that I wish I remembered in my head. So at this point, we are going. Okay, so I'm going to be taking out the wrinkles and the moisture from my white cotton t-shirt. I'm going to be also just placing everything down first. Again, I apologize for me being out of frame. Also, I recommend don't peel off the backing for your heat transfer vinyl. You want to turn over your shirt and also heat that up in the back. Give it a nice press in the front and in the back before you finish. I did cut out the letters, as you can see, but it just didn't cut out properly. I didn't, as you'll see, you also will notice that I should have left it on. That was my mistake. But I'm also checking the knife and the fork because I didn't put it on properly, so it did have a little peel up, and yeah, so I probably should have put it back on. But anyways, it didn't matter really much. So at this point, I'm ironing again all the wrinkles. I'm placing everything down. Since the temperature for the symbols were all the same, I figured let me do that first. I would have probably next time in the future probably would have used the setting, you know, what they recommend for the heat settings on the Happy Crafter websites, and the YouTube symbol I had to do in 2 stages. So I'm also going to turn over the shirt and heat it from the back, and that will be it. So if you guys have any comments or questions, please leave down below, or you can always email me. My email address is eileen@eileenlocrafter.com. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye for now.